Rainbows are magical, they're beautiful, and they also make for great photo ops. However, rainbows are more than just a pretty arc in the sky. Did you know that rainbows can be huge? How about upside down, or even underwater? That's right, there's so much to learn about rainbows. And today we will be sharing 10 fun facts about these colorful wonders of nature. So let's get started. Number 10. Rainbows can be huge. When we think of rainbows, most of us imagine a small arc stretching across the sky. But did you know that rainbows can be huge? The largest rainbow ever recorded was seen in 1825 over the English town of Scarborough. It stretched for an incredible 425 miles across the sky, which is about the same distance as 675 American football fields lined up side by side. While it's unlikely that you'll ever see a rainbow as big as this one, keep your eyes peeled the next time it rains. You never know what you might see. No. 9. Rainbows have no end. We often think of rainbows as having two ends that touch the ground. But this isn't really true. In fact, rainbows don't have any ends at all. They're actually much more like circles than arcs. It's just like a circle has no end, neither does a rainbow. The reason why we usually see them as arcs is because the ground gets in the way. If there were no ground, we would see a full circle of colors in the sky. This is actually pretty easy to see for yourself. All you need to do is find a tall hill or building and then look at the rainbow from that vantage point. You should be able to see a much larger arc than you would from the ground. And if you're lucky, you may even see the full circle of the rainbow. No. 8 rainbows are not always red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. While this is the most common color pattern we see in rainbows, it's not the only one. In fact, there are many different types of rainbows that can appear in the sky. For example, red and orange rainbows are sometimes seen after volcanic eruptions. These rainbows are caused by the particles of ash and smoke in the air. Green rainbows are also relatively common, and they're usually seen during or after thunderstorms. These rainbows are caused by the water droplets in the air being blown away by the wind, leaving behind smaller droplets that only reflect green light. Blue and purple rainbows are less common, but they can happen when the sun is shining through a lot of fog. These rainbows are usually very faint and don't last for long, but they can still be beautiful to see. Number 7. A rainbow can appear twice. It's not uncommon to see a second, fainter rainbow appear below the first one. This is called a secondary rainbow, and it's formed in much the same way as the primary rainbow, except that the light is reflected twice inside the water droplets before exiting. This causes the colors of the secondary rainbow to be reversed. So if the primary rainbow has red on the outside, the secondary rainbow will have violet on the outside. Secondary rainbows are usually much fainter than primary rainbows, but they can still be beautiful to see. No. 6. You can see rainbows at night. Most of us associate rainbows with daytime showers, but did you know that you can actually see them at night? These nighttime rainbows are called moonbows, and they're formed in much the same way as daytime rainbows, except that the light is reflected off of water droplets in the moonlight, rather than the sunlight. Moonbows are much fainter than rainbows, so you need a dark sky and a bright moon to see them. But if conditions are right, you can see a beautiful arc of color in the night sky. No. 5. Rainbows can appear underwater. If you've ever been underwater, when the sun is shining through the surface of the water, you may have seen a rainbow. These underwater rainbows are actually pretty common, and they're caused by the light being refracted as it passes through the water. The colors of the rainbow are determined by the wavelength of the light and the angle at which it enters the water. So the colors of an underwater rainbow can be different from those of a regular rainbow. Underwater rainbows are usually only visible for a few seconds at a time, but they can be a beautiful sight to see. No. 4. Rainbows can be used as a compass. Did you know that rainbows can help you find your way? That's right. The next time you see a rainbow, take a look at the colors. The red end of the rainbow will always point to the east, and the violet end will point to the west. This is because rainbows form when the sun is shining through water droplets in the air. The water droplets act like tiny prisms, bending and separating the white sunlight into its different wavelengths or colors. This means that the colors of the rainbow are always opposite each other, so if you want to find your way, just follow the red end of the rainbow until you see a road or other landmark, and then you'll know which direction to go. No. 3. rainbows can last 4 hours. While most rainbows only last for a few minutes, there are rare occasions when they can stick around for hours. In fact, there was a rainbow that lasted for 9 hours and 22 minutes. This was seen in 1994 in Edinburgh, Scotland. So if you're ever lucky enough to see a rainbow, make sure to enjoy it while it lasts. No. 2. Rainbows have been around for a long time. Rainbows have been around for billions of years. They were here long before humans evolved, and they'll be here long after we're gone. Rainbows are a natural phenomenon that occurs whenever there is sunlight and water in the atmosphere. So as long as these conditions continue to exist, rainbows will continue to form. Don't run toward the end of the rainbow. We've all heard the stories of leprechauns and pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. But don't believe the hype. There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Even if there was, you'd never be able to get there. That's because rainbows don't have any ends. As we mentioned earlier, rainbows are actually full circles. The reason why we usually see them as arcs is because the ground gets in the way. So if you see a rainbow, don't waste your time running toward it. Instead, take a moment to appreciate the beauty of nature and the science that makes rainbows possible. We hope you enjoyed learning some fun facts about rainbows. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos like this. If you want to support us, please consider making a donation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Rainbows are fascinating natural phenomena that have captured the imagination of humans for centuries. From the mythical pots of gold at the end of the rainbow to the more scientific explanation of how they reformed, rainbows continued to amaze us. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite fact about rainbows? Do you have any fun rainbow stories of your own? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.